Yeah. Oh, look at these two. All right, you okay? Either they're having an affair or they're just very shy.
If you didn't see that, the CEO of a company called Astronomer got outed at a Coldplay concert, cheating with his chief people officer. Yes, this man is married and has 2 sons. And yes, his wife is aware because his wife woke up the next day to her Facebook page going viral. She has since dropped her husband's last name. So yes, the CEO was having an affair with somebody from their version of the HR department, the chief people officer. But he wasn't really smart when he decided to do that publicly at a Coldplay concert because Chris Martin unintentionally outed him. But here's where the misinformation comes into play. This woman here is not Alyssa Stoddard, another employee with Astronomer. This is somebody different. Astronomer CEO Andy Byron was caught cheating on camera at a Coldplay concert behind his wife Megan Kerrigan's back. And her Facebook page has since gone viral the next morning with sympathy, love, empathy, compassion, and there's no telling what's going to happen. But a lot of content creators put out this statement from Andy Byron, and this is not true. This came from a spoof account. This was not really Andy Byron and his words at all. And all the people that helped spread that misinformation didn't do their due diligence, verifying or corroborating that that was truly his account that came from. And we know that it's not because now everybody's apologizing and having to retract. Because Astronomer themselves has made this statement saying that the original source is a parent parody account, which is not properly identified as such. All the clicks to the post has reported that account now suspended. Astronomer also put out this statement that Astronomer is committed to the values and the culture that have guided us since our founding. Our leaders are expected to set the standard in both conduct and accountability. And that means true integrity. Having integrity means what you do when people aren't looking, what you do behind closed doors, the way you behave when you don't expect the world to see it. The board of directors has initiated a formal investigation into this matter, and we will have additional details to share very shortly. Alyssa Stoddard was not at the event, and no other employees were in the video. Andy Byron has not put out any statement. Reports saying otherwise are all incorrect. Spam, misinformation, and just plain not doing their due diligence. They have repeated this statement not only on their website, but also on their social media pages. And while this may be a funny viral moment for everybody, you got to remember the fact that these 2 people's actions and behaviors cost this woman and 2 children their family life, their home life, their stability, everything that they know. And not only did this happen, but this globally and publicly humiliated his wife and 2 sons. If you're unhappy, just leave. It's that simple. If you want to have an intimate relationship with somebody else, tell your wife first. It's that simple. If you're man enough to cheat, you should be man enough to sit your wife down and tell her how it really is. If you're man enough to cheat, you should be man enough to sit your 2 sons down and tell them how it really is. Because this isn't a case of, oh, I just gave in, or I was not in my right state of mind, or I was tempted, just like every man is, and I just gave in. Like women aren't too all the time. So yes, the wife knows, and she has dropped Byron from her last name on her social media page. Andy Byron and Kristen Cabot are both being investigated. This is not Alyssa Stoddard. And this statement is not real. And people ran with it like it was. People were saying, sorry, I got caught. meaning that you only apologize after you're caught, meaning that you're not sorry. You're only sorry that you were caught. Now, here's some funny ones. Interview question. Tell me what you know about our company. Answer. Well, I know that you are very close company. Definitely not scared to risk it all with your direct hands-on approach. And I also hear the employee benefits are extra special. He blamed Chris Martin, the lead singer of Coldplay, for outing him. Yeah, but it's not a real statement. It came from a spoof account. He could have just said it wasn't me. Reference Shaggy. Not him blaming Coldplay. Yo, she looks like Gary Busey. A private moment at a public concert. Make it make sense. But on the flip side, a lot of people were showing a lot of sympathy, love, compassion, support for his wife. She's going to wake up to this. Literally heartbreaking. And she did. We now know that. Other people said you've got so many people on your side and rooting for you. Stay strong. It's so much we're seeing. She's obviously a kind person and a doting mother. You don't deserve this. Somebody that knows her says she's a saint. Makes it even more heartbreaking. Andy Byron and Kristen Cabot, I'm just going to say it. You're both pieces of shit. There is nothing that you can say or do that can fix this, except for resign your positions and slink away like the snakes you are. And I hope in the future that if she ever falls in love again, it's with a real man who knows how to treat a real woman. And it's not ironic that Chris Martin supposedly is the one that outed him because, you know, he's a known Hollywood cheater. But I digress. There you have it. Straight back in context. Okay, so we have an update on the cheating CEO. This news just broke that Astronomer CEO Andy Byron and the HR department chief Kristen Cabot have been put on leave after Coldplay concert. Kiss Cam exposed that they were having an affair. And good, because that's the least they deserve. And if they were even halfway remorseful, they would have just resigned, issued a public apology, and disappeared into oblivion, because the world doesn't need more bad people. I don't care what anybody says. Cheating is annihilating your own family, and you deserve the worst. Why get married if you're just going to do that? As I said, if you're man enough to cheat on your wife, you're man enough to sit down with your wife and tell her how it is. If you're man enough to cheat on your wife, you're man enough to sit down with your sons and explain to them why you were doing what you were doing. But on a global stage, the very least that should happen, not a public apology, because we don't care. You need to rectify what you did to your wife and children. That's what matters. That's between him and his wife and kids, and him and his God. But you know what they say, smart people don't mix business and pleasure. You don't stick your tiny pee-pee where you get your money. If you didn't see my prior video, I correct what thousands of content creators have put out there as far as misinformation, and let you know all of the true updates. Because unlike many, I took the time to do my due diligence. I took my time to reach out and verify and corroborate. So there you have it. Straight back in context. I know some people think that this is funny, and of course it is, in a way. When a viral moment like this goes global on social media platforms, of course there's always going to be people that replicate it, try to make it lighthearted and funny. And that's exactly what we're seeing. There are baseball mascots that are now replicating this viral moment, making stadiums with 55,000 people in attendance have a little laugh. But behind this is a very real woman and two very real sons. And I really hope and pray that people don't forget the real humanity behind this man and this woman's actions. Their impulsive, erratic behavior and decision-making and how it affects other people. The global humiliation that this woman must be facing. But since he wasn't man enough to just divorce her or leave her, At least now she knows where she stands with her own husband in her own marriage, and she can make an informed decision now that she knows the truth. Let me know your thoughts down below.
Yeah. Oh, look at these two. All right, come on. You're okay? Oh, what? Either they're having an affair or they're just very shy. I'm not quite sure.
And good for the wife for having her Facebook page go viral. One friend says that the wife is an absolute saint, which makes this all so much worse. But the ironic and the funny part is if Andy Byron and Kristen Cabot, if they hadn't reacted that way, nobody would have looked into their LinkedIn profile to find out that they were cheating. If they would have just stayed hugging, kissing, laughing, smiling on the camera, nobody would have looked into it to realize that he was married and that was not his wife. It was essentially their reaction to being on the screen that prompted people to find out exactly who they are. And in today's world with face recognition, software and technology, AI, social media, nobody is safe from being outed in this way. But it's his own actions, words, choices, and behaviors that led him there. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section down below. But do me a favor, please pray for this woman and their 2 sons to whatever God, whatever religion, whatever language you do. Have a great weekend, everybody. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for watching. Please like and share. Do not forget to smash the subscribe button. And I'll catch you all on the flip side.